Hello and welcome back. In this video we are going to be looking at text editing, starting with Nano. Nano is a simple text editor, and let's get straight into that. Look at the use cases for Nano. So when you work in a command line, from time to time you have to edit small text files, and you need to have a way of quickly jumping in, making a change, particularly configuration files. If you have lots of configuration files to change, similar to when we look at those SSH configs and additional configuration files. So for example, if I had a file, let's make a file, config 01.txt. Okay, so we have a config file, and for whatever reason that file exists and we wanted to make a change to that file, you would open a file using Nano by typing nano, simple, and config, point you to the file, and enter. Now you are in Nano. This is a blank file. We've only just created it. So if you want to say had the line, okay, I'm adding a new line. Then once you have done your changes to that file, then with Nano, it's a little bit unusual if you're not accustomed to this. You can see the shortcuts at the bottom of the screen here. So for writing out the change you've done to a file, which is equivalent for saving, you would do Control L, and you'll get if you're accustomed to the command line, then you know what this is. But if you're not, you have a caret symbol. A caret symbol is the control character equivalent for the control key. So what this means is Control Shift O, because that's clearly an uppercase O. So Control Shift O should save this file. Let's try this. So Control Shift O, and let's try it again. Good. So Control Shift O, all down at the same time. You get an option for file name to write, and this is the file that we opened, and if we go enter, that file is written. It says wrote one line. It's as simple as that, and then Control X would exit that file. So that is the basic way of quickly opening a file and editing a file. But from UC, let's have a look at the man page for Nano. Here you go, Nano. And in this case, Nano is actually referring to an older editor called Pico, which was even smaller, much simpler. But Nano is more or less a new version of Pico. So in this system, you will see Pico being the man page used to explain Nano. Pico Nano, you get it. A simple text editor in the style of Alpine Composer. That I must investigate. I've not investigated Alpine Composer. I've known about it for quite some time, but I've never actually touched it. But nonetheless, you get the idea that you have ways in your system, already built into your system, quickly how to change text files and modify text files. So that is in a nutshell. Opening a file, editing and saving is more or less the most important thing you will do with something like this at this size. And for further reading, if you're really interested in editing text in the command line, there are hundreds of command line text editors available to you. Some more popular, some more powerful, some more useful. I'm gonna get into a few more, but in a short notice, if you had to make a change to a file, a small file, you open that file in Nano, make your changes, whether you delete a line or you had a line. That is exactly what you would do that. And I know this is just an introduction to the actual editor, but you could easily go through and look at all the parameters you can pass in. And in some cases, it will also give you a little bit of support. And if you wanted to see, if you open a syntax file like a JavaScript file or some programming language file, source code files, then you would be able to also get that colored up nicely so you can identify variables from functions and so forth and operators. So Nano is a great place to start editing your text and come online, and that's something for you to investigate. Thank you for watching. That's a short introduction to Nano. It was never meant to be comprehensive, but more of an introduction of what is there if you're not aware of it. And for further exploration, please consult the man page. And I'll catch you in the next one where we look at additional text editors.